Hello there, you're welcome to the PowerPoint tutorials, and today we are going to be talking about the graphical methods of solving simultaneous equations. As you all know that simultaneous equations is the equations, first degree equations that contain two unknowns, and our unknowns in this case will be represented by letter x and letter y. So that is typically what we are going to be doing. So simultaneous equations will be two equations, equations 1 and equations 2. And we shall be looking at how we will solve these equations graphically. So when we solve any equations graphically, the most important things to note is that we must always have the points to plot on the Cartesian planes. And after we plot those points, we will have to join the points so that they give us a straight line. So that is what we shall be looking at in these sessions. So as I told you that we are looking at the graphical solutions of simultaneous equations. So this is what we shall be doing in these sections. So this is what I call a Cartesian plane. And the Cartesian plane here, it's having two lines. The first line is called y, line y, and this line y is a vertical line, and we call it y-axis. Okay. Another names that we can give to it is that this is a line where x is equal to 0. So along this line, the value of x is equal to 0 wherever you are here along this line. X is equal to 0. Now the second line is the horizontal lines, and the horizontal line is called x-axis, and this x-axis cut the y-axis at the midpoint, and we call this point the origin point. So as you can see in our grid here, we have represented our graph in form of y and x. So as you can see down here, the x is having two values, the negative values and the positive values. The negative values are on the left hand side of 0, and the positive values are on the right hand side of 0, just like in number line. As you can also see, we also have y values that are positive and negative. So down 0, below 0 are negative, and above 0 are positive. Now as you can see, this grid or this paper is divided into two rectangles, okay? But in actual sense, sometimes we think of it as a circle. So here, this first one from here around here, we call it a first quadrant, okay? A first quadrant. And here in the first quadrant, if you can see, the values of y here are positive, as well as values of x are also positive. So here we say first quadrant, the value of x and y are positive. Also in the second quadrant, only the values of x are positive and values of y are negative. So this is a point quadrant where we have positive and negative. Then here, if you can see, all the values of x on this side are negative and values of y here are positive. So this is a quadrant, third quadrant, where x is a negative and y is negative as well. Here you can see that we only have y is equal to is having positive values, but x on the other side is having negative values. So this is basically the fourth quadrant, and whenever you have the points, you can place them in either of the two depending on what I just told you. Here is positive positive, here is positive negative, here is negative negative, and here is negative positive. So this is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Okay, so coming to simultaneous equations, so we can actually solve simultaneous equations graphically. And what is the first thing that we do when we are given the equations? Okay, it should be rearranged in form of y is equal to mx plus c, and then we plot it on grid. This is our grid. Okay, so this is y is equal to mx plus c. What is it that we actually do here? we manipulate the equations such that we will only have y on one side of the equations, and then the rest of the variables or the constants are on the right hand side of the equation. So this is what we actually do. So the coordinates of the points of intersections of each line given the solution to the equation. So when we finally have y is equal to mx plus c, and then we will assume the values of x, and then we put the values of x in each equations. Okay, so when we have these values of x and we put them here, then we will definitely have the value of y, because x is unknown here. So if we know x, then we will multiply the value of x with the value of m, and m here is a constant number, and then we add it to this another constant so that we get value of y. So after that, we will have the coordinates. And how do you get the coordinates? When you write the coordinates, you put the value of x first and then the value of y, and then you try to plot them here on the graph. So what is the example that we should give here? This is the example, and this example is 2x is equal to y is equal to 8. 2x minus y is equal to 8. This is equation 1. Then equation 2 is x is equal to y, x minus y is equal to 1. Okay, so how do we solve these equations on the graph? Now the first thing that we do is we must change this one in form of mx plus c. So we will take 2x and then move it on the other side. So we'll subtract 2x here and we subtract 2x here. So on this side we will remain with negative y, and this side we will have 8 minus 2x. But we have negative here, so we divide both sides by negative 1, both sides by negative 1, which will change the equation to be y is equal to 8 minus 2x. Okay, so y is equal to 2x minus 8 when we divided that by when we divided both sides by negative. So we will finally find y is equal to 2x minus 8. Now you can see it is in form of what? Mx plus c. So we have y here and we have our m, and then x there, and then c. Okay, so come to the second equations. What do? We move x to the other side, so we subtract it on both sides, and then we divided it by negative 1. So that will change the equation to be y is equal to x minus 1. Okay, so how do we actually plot this on the graph? Okay, now what happened when we say that x is equal to 0 in the first equation? If we say x is equal to 0, what is going to be the value of y? If you put x here, if you make it 0, then that means 2 times 0. What is 2 times 0? We all know that 2 times 0 is equal to 0. So when we say 0 minus 8, then we get negative 8. So the points here are going to be 0 and negative 8. So can we move to the Cartesian plane here? Where do we get 0 and negative 8? We can find 0 and negative 8 definitely here. 0 and negative 8 here. Okay. Second to it, what happened when we have x is equal to 5? When x is equal to 5, as you can see, when x is equal to 5, then we will say 2 times 5. What is 2 times 5? 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, and 10 minus 8 is what? Is 2. So we will have 5 and 2. So 5 the value of x, and 2 the value of y. So if we move to the Cartesian plane, where is 5? 5 for x is here, and 2 for y is here. So if you see where the line 2, y2 and line y, x crossed is the point. So we put the cross along that point. We shall see what we can do with it later. Secondly, we also have to assume another value of x. So here we will assume that x is equal to 9. So when x is equal to 9, what is 2 times 9? 2 times 9 is 18. What is 18 minus 8? 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. So we are going to look at the value of y. We are going to look for the position of y, or x is equal to 9 and y is equal to 10. So where is x is equal to 9? Here. And where is y is equal to 10? There. So if you can see the cross on that point. So now we have the 2 points for the first equation. So you now will be free to join the two lines. So now you have joined the two lines and you now have the straight line. Let's go to line y is equal to x minus 1. Line y is equal to x minus 1. We assume the value of x. So when we assume the value of x to be negative 1, what's going to be the value of 0? So here, what is going to be the value of if x is equal to 0, what is going to be the value of negative 1? Okay, so when x is equal to 0, y is equal to negative 1. Okay, so where do we get that? We plot that point here, 0 and negative 1. X here is 0 and negative and y is negative 1. So the points will be plotted here along y-axis. Why? Because x is equal to 0. Secondly, we assume another value for x. What is that value? Actually, you just assume any value. Let's take 3 for this matter. If we put 3 here, if we put 3 in place of x, so it will be 3 minus 1. What is 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So that means y is equal to 2. So we are going to look for x is equal to 3. Where is x is equal to 3? Here. X here is 3. And then where is y is equal to 2? Y is equal to 2 is here. As you can see, if you trace this line, then you will come there will come a point whereby y is equal to 2 and then x is equal to 3 will cross. Okay, so where the crossed, that we put that one as a point, corresponding points, and we mark it with a cross or something like a star. So what other points do we have to assume? Okay, what about if we have x here is equal to 10? Okay, if x is equal to 10, then what do we get? It will be 10 minus 1. So y is going to be 9. So x is equal, where is x is equal to 10? X is equal to 10 is here, the last point. And y is equal to 9 is there. So if you look at where the correspond, that is the point. Okay, so here you have the points now, the 3 points. So you are going to join them. So as you can see, if you join them, you are going to have that line. Now the whole idea of drawing these lines is to see where the two line cuts. Okay, the two line cuts here at point y is equal to 6 and x is equal to 7. So what is the solutions for the simultaneous equations? We have x is equal to 7, yes, and y is equal to 6. So that is basically now the solutions of our simultaneous equations. So you have x is equal to 7 and y is equal to 6. That is our solution for the simultaneous equations, which says 2x minus y is equal to 8 and x is equal to y, so x minus y is equal to 1. So now we have the solution. So another example, okay? So the example here is that negative 2x plus y is equal to 1. So we are going to take negative 2x to the other side. So what do we do here? If it is negative, it will become positive on the other side. So if we move it here, then it will be y is equal to 2x plus 1. Okay, 2x plus 1. Let's, yeah, 2x plus 1. That's y. What about for our x here? For our y in the second equation? Y is going to be, we subtract x here and we subtract x on the other side. So we will have y is equal to 10 minus x. So that you write it as negative x plus 10. So it doesn't matter the arrangement here, whether you write 10 first or you write x at last. it doesn't matter. Okay, so but we simplify it so that it will be in form of mx plus c. So that's why x have to come here. As you can see, the value of m in the first equation is 2, and the value of m in the second equation is -1. Okay, and then the value of c there is 1, then the value of c there in the second equation is 10. So here we already draw our Cartesian plane with y and x axis. So what are we going to do? We are going to plot the points. So now let us assume the value of x to be equivalent to 1, I mean to 0. Or we can start with 0, we can start with -1, we can start with any other value, but mostly we shall be taking 0. Then we take any other positive points or negative points, it doesn't matter. So when x is equal to 0 here, you will know that this is 2 times 0, which is what? Which is 0. So y is equal to 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 is the same as 1. So we have 0 and 1. So where do we find 0 and 1? At place x is equal to 0, which is y-axis, and then the value of y is what? Is 1. So we put it in point where in point of 1 there. Okay, and then the second point, we are going to take x is equal to 2. When x is equal to 2, so we'll have y is equal to 2 times 2 plus 1. 2 times 2 plus 1 is what? Is 5. So we have x is equal to 2 here, and y is equal to 5 there. So we have the corresponding point there, we mark it there, we take a third point. Actually, we'll be only taking 3 points here. The third point is x is equal to 4. So when x is equal to 4, then we'll say 2 times 4, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 8. So 8 plus 1 is what? Is 9. So our value of y is 9. So when we have x is equal to 4, which is here, and then 9 is equal, or y is equal to 9. So if you look at them, the cross here, so you put the star there. Now you draw a straight line that joins the 2 points in the middle. Don't just put it anywhere. Okay, it must cut through x and x here along this line. That is line number 1 for equation 1. Equation 2. So the first thing is, let us assume x to be 0. When x is equal to 0, it will be -0, and we don't have -0, it's still 0. So it will be 0 plus 1, y is going to be 10. So where is the point? The point is going to be at 10 here, okay? Because y is 0, x is 0, I mean. Then we assume another point, and that point is going to be x is equal to 5. When x is equal to 5, what is the value of y? -5 plus 10 is just the same as 10 minus 5, which is 5. So x is equal to 5, and then y is equal to 5. Where is x is equal to 5? Here. And where is y is equal to 5? Here. So if you see these points, they cross 5 here and 5 here. So they correspond at this point. So we plot that point. Second to it, we are going to take y is equal, we are going to take a point at x is equal to 10. When x is equal to 10, it will be -10 plus 10, and that is 10 minus 10. 10 minus 10 is 0, so we are going to have y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 10. So x is equal to 10 is here, and y is equal to 0 is along what? It's along x-axis, x-axis, so we will point it here. So we draw the line and then we coordinate. Now, what are we going to look for? We are going to look for a point where line 1 cross line 2. So this point is here. It is in 3, coordinate 3 and coordinate 7. So it is in x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 7. Now this is the solutions. Okay, now we have solved the equations. So let us go to another example. Another example is -x plus y is equal to 3. So -x plus y is equal to 3. So we will rearrange it. So we'll have we take negative x on the other side, so it becomes positive, so it will be y plus y is equal to x plus 3. Second equation, we take 2x on the other side, so we'll subtract it from both sides, so it will become negative on the other side, so we'll have y is equal to negative 2x plus 6. Now you have two equations. Go and assume the values of x. Let x be equal to 0 in the first equations. When x is equal to 0, y is 3. So look at where there is x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 3. It's going to be there. That is the point, okay? And then we assume another value for x. So we assume x to be equal to 4. When x is equal to 4, then y is going to be 7, because 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. Then we assume another value. We assume another value where x is equal to 7. So when x is equal to 7, y will be equal to 7 plus 3, and y plus 3, 7 plus 3 is 10. So we put it there. So we have like 7 and 10. So now you join the 2 points, then you have a straight line. Second to it, we go and assume the value of x to be 0 here. X is equal to 0 will give us, negative 2 times 0, which is 0 plus 6. 0 plus 6 is just the same as 6. So you are going to have y is equal to 6 and x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0 is along y-axis, so it's going to be true to plot it there. Now second to it, let us make x to be 3. When x is equal to 3, we have negative 2 times 3, which gives us what? We give us negative 6. Negative 6 and add with positive 6 will give us 0. So we are going to plot a point where we have 3 and 0. So and that point is there. Also we go to a value where x is equal to 6. When x is equal to 6, it will be negative 2 times 6, which is 12. Negative 12. Negative 12 plus 6 give us negative 6. So where is negative 6? Negative 6 for y and positive 6 for x. Okay, so the cut there, and then you join the two lines, the 3 points. When you join the 3 points, they will cut here in the middle, and where they cut is going to be 0.14, and 1 is the value of x. So x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 4. Basically all about the graphical solutions of simultaneous equation. So we are going to use the graph here to solve the following points. So x minus y is equal to 2, and 2x plus y is equal to negative 8. So if where is x minus y is equal to 2? So x minus y is equal to 2 is this line. And where is 2x plus y is equal to negative 8? 2x plus y is equal to negative 8 is this line. So when this line and this line crosses, where do they cross? They cross at point negative 2 and negative 4. So this is the point that we say that is the solutions of x minus y is equal to 2 and 2x plus y is equal to negative 3. So what are the values here? The values are x is equal to negative 2 and y is equal to negative 4. Okay, let us go to number 2. We have x plus 2y is equal to 4. Where is x plus 2y is equal to 14? It's this line here. And then what about y is equal to x plus 7? Where is it? Here it is. So this is line, and this line crosses where? The crosses at this point. This point is the point where x is equal to 0. So the value of x obviously here is going to be 0. And where is the value of y here is 7. So the solution here is x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 7. Can we go to 3x minus 10? Y is equal to 3x minus 10. Y is equal to 3x minus 10 is plotted, and then this is the line. The line is here. And then which one can we solve with it? Is x minus y. X minus y is equal to 2. X minus y is equal to 2 is here. Okay. So where do these two lines cut? They cut at point x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 2. So x is equal to 4, y is equal to 2 here. You just look at corresponding value of what? Corresponding value of x. And then those are going to be your solution. So we have 2x plus y is equal to -8. We know that this was the point, this was the line, 2x. And then what about the other one? It's y is equal to x plus y 7. So where do they cut? They cut here, where x is equal to -5 and y is equal to +2. So x is equal to -5, y is equal to +2. What about x plus 7? Where is x plus 7? X plus 7 is this same line. And where about x plus 2y? X plus 2y, where is it? X plus 2y is equal to 14. There is it. Where have they crossed? They cross at that point is equal to 14. They cross at that point. They cross at x is equal to 0 and y is actually the same repetition.